And we're back
Hello!
with Wednesday.
Still can't spell Wednesday without saying Wednesday.
Same here.
I love calling it Wednesday. That just feels like the right way to say it. Whoever said it was Wednesday is a liar.
Because it's phonetically correct.
It's Wednesday.
Getting a whole N?
That's how I spell it phonetically, and it's always wrong.
I actually end up sleeping in the next day. Leo tries to coax me to go along, but I mumble something about needing to finish my project. The next thing I know, it's an hour later, and the motel room is empty. I chastise myself for the late start I'm getting and roll out of bed, skipping a shower instead of gathering up all my equipment. I decide to head to the old school, mostly out of convenience. It's less than a mile up Main Street. It's broken down and vandalized to all hell, which looks great through the camera. The original Echo School was built back in the early 1900s, but was torn down and rebuilt in the 50s. So the thing is, what's interesting about that line is that this looks very similar to the school that we see in the smoke room as well. So
Hmm.
that means when they tore it down and rebuilt it, they were just like, fuck it, let's make it look like the old school anyway.
I mean, people do that,
Yeah.
especially if it's like a historical building. They're like, yeah, let's tear it down, but let's also like make it look like the original.
I guess that's so strange to me to think about doing that.
Yeah. If they're preserving it versus like actually like having a functioning another functioning use for it.
Mm-hmm. That's the building I'm looking at now. Apparently, all grades were combined into this one building, which was sectioned off by 3 floors: Echo Elementary, Echo Junior High, and Echo High. After 1980, there were too few students to keep it functional, and they started busing everyone to Peyton instead, closing Echo School down. It's a 2-story brick house with a basement and about 30 rooms inside. I remember my parents saying that after it closed down, it was a rite of passage to sneak into the school at night and graffiti up the walls. Basically, everyone drew a pentagram. I set the camera up to get a few shots of the outside of the school, making sure to emphasize the graffiti on the front and avoid the white soccer goal. Apparently, Echo was still putting the field to use. The windows are foggy, and though there are dozens of squares of glass missing, it's pitch black inside. I calculate in my mind how long I'll be speaking over this portion of the footage, realizing that it probably won't be longer than 10 or 15 seconds. I feel a little flare of annoyance at the thought of how much I'm putting into this and how little I'm getting out. I wonder if this really is the kind of thing I want to be doing, and not for the first time. After about half an hour of trying different angles, I finally straighten up, wiping my forehead. The sun is up to the point of warming at the top of my head, and I know that within a half hour I'll be burning up. I start packing up my camera when I feel a different sensation on the top of my head. A slight pressure and a prickle. The feeling that I'm being watched. I look back up at the school building. It's quiet, broken, and stoic, like it has been for the past few decades. Still, my eyes are drawn to the second floor, specifically to the window on the far right. Alright, hold up. That would be... Okay, that one. I stare hard at it, narrowing my eyes. Behind the glass, in the dark room, something curves out from the right side of the window. It's a little cooler, and it stands out in stark contrast against the black of the rest of the window. It could be anything, really, but as I stare at it, I get the same vibes from it that I do from Carl's horns. I stare at it, waiting to see if it moves, morbidly imagining a face peering around the corner at any moment. Picturing Carl suddenly jumping out to stare at me from the window is kind of funny, but also creepy because I can't imagine what he'd be doing up there. The hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and I look around, kind of hoping that someone might be nearby. It's deserted, of course, my only company being the sun-baked road and the dried sagebrush. I turn my attention back to the spot next to the window, half expecting the maybe a horn to be gone. It's still there, though, not having shifted at all from when I first spotted it. I shift the strap of the camera bag onto my shoulder and stand up straight before moving a little closer to the building, next to the doors for a better look. Maybe Maybe it's the handle to something. Maybe it's the handle of an old watering can. Maybe for a glass project forgotten long ago. Maybe. I shrug off the feeling and turn to leave.
Enter the school.
Oh, well, I don't think we have a choice. I think we have to enter the school.
The
But
Yeah, I'm here alive for that. We're gonna Something itches in the back of my brain. I look back at the door and can tell right away that there isn't anything holding it shut. At least not on the outside. Maybe I could get a few shots of what's in there. I walk slowly up to the door. A thin piece of plywood. Definitely not what was here originally. A small tin no trespassing sign hangs from it, almost completely rusted through. I give the door a tentative push and it instantly gives way, sliding noisily across the concrete ground. Inside, there's a staircase right in front of me. To the left and right, there were wide, darkened hallways. I just crossed over the threshold when I realized what I'm doing. Even if I did get some good footage, it would probably have been from breaking into the place illegally. I'd basically be filming a crime for a school project. The floor
Oh, but
creaks
no.
above my head and I realize just how stupid this is. I turn back around, making sure to shut the rickety door behind me fully before I start back towards the road. It was a dumb idea, sure, and I've come up with a lot of stupid ideas, but for some reason I can't shake the feeling that had been especially weird. I'm at the end of the road when I remember the horn at the window. I don't turn around.
oh, how do you know that he's here?
Jenna eyes Leo as we make our way up the walk to Carl's house. As I'm looking up at the mansion, I think of how you imagine a lot of things being bigger when you're younger. Not at Carl's house. I always forgotten how big it is when I see it again. Even kids from Peyton wanted to hang out with Carl because of it.
Carl's here like 95% of the time. Besides, how would he get around without his parents?
Jim doesn't say anything as TJ bounds up to the door and rings the doorbell while balancing a cake against his chest.
Everything is so old-fashioned here.
TJ seems to have cheered up since the incident a few days back. At least that's what he's been putting out so far. Sometimes it's hard to tell with TJ. We wait a while, but there's no answer. Jenna looks pointedly at Leo, who pointedly ignores her.
He's probably asleep.
And how do we wake him up?
We make the smell of pot just kind of float slowly towards his bedroom.
I want to ask where Flynn's at, but even mentioning his name around TJ seems risky. Leo's looking up at the window to the right of the door, about 10 feet off the ground.
You know, if I boost you up, you'd be able to reach...
Are you kidding me?
I shift the bag of presents I'm holding, glancing down at the red tissue paper on the top. So, what did I get, Carl? Leo doesn't seem to be noticing me. Wow, I don't know what the fuck I just said. Leo doesn't seem to notice me, continuing to frown at Jenna.
Oh, so we're gonna wake him up.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe by sending him a text in advance to have him meet us somewhere, rather than just going to his house completely unannounced?
Leo huffs, and I can see his face getting red under his fur.
Listen, I do what I want, Jenna.
Jenna has a fair point, but I still feel bad for the wolf. I mean, he usually is here, isn't he?
Let's not fight, guys. It's supposed to be a party.
TJ's genuinely disappointed voice seems to have put a pause on the tense mood, and Jenna sighs before looking back up at the window.
I guess I could try.
Great.
Leo has no regards for Jenna's safety.
I mean, yeah, she has a crush on my Chase.
You don't know that to be true. Leo
Listen,
hops down.
I see the way she looks at him.
Leo hops down off the deck, but at that moment, a big rusty truck pulls into the driveway of Carl's house. It's Flynn, and next to him in the passenger seat is an unconscious-looking ram.
The hell?
Flynn parks before slowly and quietly opening the door.
Flynn, what the hell are you doing?
Leo whisper yells it as he walks up to the truck, glancing over at Carl, who's leaned back in the seat with his mouth hanging open. Even from here, I can hear him snoring.
Hey, Wolf. If you still want it to be a surprise, you'll shut up.
What the hell are you doing?
Flynn rolls his eyes.
We went to the reservation.
What? Why?
Because it's something we do sometimes.
I texted you that we were going to surprise him.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here.
Flynn rubs the back of his scaly head.
Just a little late is all. I started winning more than I usually do, so Carl and I snuck around for a little longer.
You were gambling? Huh, of course, because that's all the reservation is good for, huh?
Oh no!
Whoa.
Flynn holds up his hands defensively.
What's with all of you?
Flynn's eyes settle on me, and for some reason I feel my heart give a jump.
Chase, what the hell? I'm gonna crawl up everyone's ass?
What?
What? Hold on. Chase, what the hell crawled up everyone's ass?
You did, Flynn. You did.
I did not. I just got here.
Not literally, anyway.
I feel
Literally
like
tasted, though.
What? Wait, no. You don't know that. You didn't read. You weren't there for the no homo reading of that scene. I feel like the answer should be obvious, but if Flynn's trying to get things at least somewhat close to normality, then I'm fully behind him. You know how Leo is. His way or the highway. Leo shoots me a glare, but I grin at him, trying to lighten the jab. I sense TJ further back behind me, separate from our group. I really wish I knew what he was thinking right now.
No, you don't.
TJ's back there, no thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, just head empty. Yep.
DJ's just glad you're hitting on Flynn instead of him.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, it's not me.
Leo lets out a tiny growl before turning back to Flynn.
I feel like you should have at least told us.
Flynn sighs and glances back at the ram sleeping in the truck.
Well, why don't you guys go inside so this whole surprise thing isn't as weird?
It's locked.
Flynn walks over to Carl's side before turning to us.
Going through the back, there's a key under the doormat.
We get into position in front of the door. TJ's a little more enthusiastic, hiding against the wall to the left of the door, a party popper in his hand. You hear a soft clopping along with the low murmur of Carl's voice. The door swings open. Matt?
Dude, I just want to put it behind me and not the...
Hello? Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Surprise!
Carl stands there, frozen, as strings of confetti drape across his horns. For a moment, it goes completely silent, and we all have to stare back at him. Finally, TJ giggles.
I didn't mean to get on your horns.
TJ goes about picking the confetti off Carl's head, his hesitant movements making it obvious how hard he was trying to avoid touching the horns.
Ah, son of a bitch! What?
What? You shouldn't be that
You?
angry, Carl.
Honestly,
Everything-
no. In reality, that snap actually threw me off.
What happened?
I heard for some. I don't know if it was an ad or something like that, but I heard like a sound, like a smack or something like that.
Oh.
That's why I meant like, what the fuck?
Strange.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it later. It's whatever.
Whenever you're ready for your line.
Anyways, what?
Carl finally breaks the awkward silence as he continues to stare at all of us, pushing TJ's hands away to pull the confetti off himself. Leo steps forward, a clearly forced smile on his face.
Your birthday. Happy early birthday.
Carl continues to stare. Flynn steps to his side and puts an arm around his shoulder.
Yeah, there isn't much to do around here, so we had to come up with something.
Matt?
Yeah, but a birthday party for me? It's not for another month.
Be happy, Carl. This is probably the last birthday party you'll ever get.
Carl opens his muzzle, then snaps it shut, his long ears twitching around.
Yeah. Carl, this is basically just a party. Your birthday is just an excuse to have it.
Oh, come on, Jenna. We got you gifts and everything.
Leo nods at me, and I take that as my cue to lift my bag into the air, grinning sheepishly.
I mean, it was Leo's birthday last month.
There we go. There's the fucking proof that I needed for that. So I have been tracking, trying to remember if there was any evidence for certain people's birthdays, and I forgot. So Leo is a February birthday. Carl is an April birthday. None of these fuckers are born in March. Sam, you and I are safe. We don't have to share a birth month with these jackasses.
Yay! I'm happy. But March is the best birthday to have, so a March birthday is the best.
So what? You want to just re-gift everything to him?
Flynn gives a hard tug on one of Carl's horns, and he swats at Flynn's hand with more annoyance than I'm used to seeing him have.
And cake!
TJ raises the cake in the air.
Yay.
Flynn leans against Carl, pointing at it.
See? Red Velvet, your favorite.
I'm silently thankful that Flynn's trying this hard to not let Carl freak out. I think we're all a little taken aback at how much he's resisting. Carl's shoulders do droop a bit at the sight of the cake, though.
Oh, where are your plates?
Jen is over at the cupboards, opening a few and looking inside.
This kitchen is huge.
Second
Thank
one
you.
over.
At that point, we've managed to shake off the awkward haze we're in and start moving to the table.
So, we got the whole day planned for you.
Yeah?
Carl stands at the end of the table, one hand on the chair as he watches all of us. While I knew Carl wouldn't really be into the idea of a party, I didn't think it would be this bad. I wonder if his anxiety has gotten worse since the incident at the university.
We're gonna eat out later. And then movie. Thought you might want to see the new Luchi Lubo film, you know?
Luce Lobo.
Luce Lobo film, you know?
Carl's hands go up to pull on the beanie. Well, gosh. Carl's hand go up to pull... I can't say things. Carl's hands go up to pull the beanie tighter over his head.
Well, as long as you don't tell the waiters that it's my birthday.
Oh yeah, isn't that place by the theater where they basically force you to wear one of those cone hats?
Yep, and I swear to God, if one of them gets all touchy with my horns trying to put it on.
What? You'll blow pot smoke on him?
I think it's kind of fun.
TJ's struggling to put the plastic dome... Well, God, I messed up all these words and I messed myself up. TJ's struggling to pull the plastic dome off the cake. Leo reaches out to help him, but it pops free at that moment and takes a huge glob of frosting off the side of the cake.
I've been there.
Okay,
Struggle
good.
is real, TJ.
Struggle is real.
Good one, Teach. We can give the piece to Carl so he can stay on his diet.
Flynn puts air quotes around the word diet. An awkward silence follows, one that Flynn clearly notices, and I see him sulk in response. Carl coughs.
I didn't have breakfast, so this should be fine.
Leo claps his paws together.
While we're having cake, why don't we start opening your presents, huh?
Carl grabs the bag and unceremoniously dumps it onto the table. He goes through them, giving an obligatory thanks when he finds out who gave it to him. I see Mike it for the first time along with Carl. It's a horn band in black and orange. University of Pueblo colors.
Wow.
We used to make fun of the jocks that wore them at Pueblo.
Thanks?
He looks at me, as if trying to figure out if I'm joking or not, and I can only offer a pained smile in response. It's only now that I'm feeling guilty for not giving him the present myself. I'll give him another one on his real birthday. Flynn steps forward at that point.
Here's mine. Something I got from the reservation.
Flynn reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small and hidden in his hand. When Carl sees it, his eyes widen.
Oh, wow.
It looks like a rectangular piece of metal with 2 points sticking out of the top. It's not until Carl pushes a thumb against one of those horns and it pops open that I realize that it's a lighter.
Now you won't look like a total loser when you get blazed.
Carl gives Flynn a small smile before flicking the lighter on, before snapping it shut.
Thanks, man.
Don't worry about it. Store owner actually gave me a discount. They still remembered me from all the smokes I used to buy there.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry, guys. You went all the way to the reservation for that?
And cigarettes are untaxed on the reservation. Another thing that's useful for, huh, Flynn?
Jenna, calm the fuck down!
I
Okay.
get it. No, there's
I'm gonna-
racism involved here.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna point that out as well. Like, the thing is, what's interesting about this as well is that both Jenna is definitely representing Native Americans as a minority, but if you've noticed across, like, the stuff within here, there's a good chance the Gila monsters are also supposed to represent a minority as well. I just can't tell which one, obviously.
Oh, so Flynn is supposed to be a minority as well?
From what I can tell. I mean, if you also, like, look at, like, how everything's been going on, like, it's pointed out like that, oh, it's very unique that there's a Gila monster here. The fact that we never see any other reptilian people in general that aren't related to
Yeah.
Flynn in any of like the Echo series.
I was just thinking that.
Like the only other ones we get to see are the mayor, who is his aunt. And in the past, you've got Porter and Beckett, who are definitely ancestors of his of some type. But other than that, across all three games, no other reptilians. Wait, no, I'm wrong. I am wrong. Fuck, what's her name? There's like one kind of like, there's one girl who works at fuck, I am blanking on the name of that place. At the smoke room, that's the name of the bar. Brothel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a reptile.
Ethel, the worst. I remember her now. So only her. She's the only other one that is a reptile that isn't related to Flynn and his family. And she's also one of the worst people and usually mentions that customers pass her over. Though it's probably because of her personality more than because of her species.
Mm-hmm.
But still, there's a good chance that at least Flynn is supposed to represent some type of minority. That's the interesting thing, is they don't give a direct, like, oh, it's this. Similar to like how with like the red foxes, those are definitely like Irish, and with the fennec foxes here, or whatever type of fox gen is supposed to be, they're natives. Same thing for coyotes, they're also natives. A chill descends over the room again, after it had just warmed up.
I just went there for the casino. The cigarettes were just...
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Flynn stops and frowns, looking confused and hurt. At this point, I start to feel myself wanting to stick up for him. The rest of the party is stiff and uncomfortable as Flynn stews in the corner. Finally, Leo stands up and tells us to get out to the car. Leo gives Flynn a look, and I can tell him he's going to confront him about something. Quietly, I linger towards the door and listen as the rest of them head out.
Oh, so now I just can't say anything to him. Oh.
Flynn.
The look on Leo's face is deadly. His eyes are narrowed, ears flat against his head.
Oh
teeth
no,
bare.
it's music.
Flynn's initial indignation cools and he backs up.
You promised me that you wouldn't fuck this up. You said you wouldn't cause any problems.
I was fucking trying to make things better.
I don't know.
Yes, he was.
Can you read a fucking room? No one wanted you to say anything to him. Oh, God forbid you get him something nice.
What, so I'm just gonna let things stay like this for the whole week?
Actually, it wasn't about Carl, it was about TJ.
Wait.
Remember, he made a joke with TJ going, oh, that could be Carl's slice. He's on a diet and everything. He talked to TJ
yeah, I remember.
just that one little bit.
I remember when we were doing, oh, I forget whose route it was. We had the same exact dialogue, but through a different point of view. And we were like, wow, Flynn is a dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're doing it through Flynn, we're like, he's literally trying and we're all fucking with him.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. I like it. Well, that's kind of your fault, isn't it?
Trying to be nice to him. Can you just see Jenna? She's not fucking helping.
You know how TJ is. Just leave him alone.
Fucking adult. He's not some little kid I have to protect. That's why it's been years and little shit hasn't manned up enough to say exactly what happened.
Leo's hackles flare.
See? That's what this is about. You only want another chance at him.
Leo's looking at Flynn with pure disgust on his face.
Sounds like you think I just want to fuck him.
I wouldn't put it past you, slut.
Flynn leans back with a smirk.
And I'm not the only one with ulterior motives, eh?
Flynn's eyes flick to me.
Yeah, there we go.
What happened?
It's Flynn. Flynn is calling out Leo's bullshit.
Ah, okay. I thought for a second there my internet went down again, and I was gonna be so sad. Leo doesn't even say anything in response, instead just letting out a rough snarl. Flynn only flinches a little, but doesn't move, just folding his arms, staring hard at the wolf.
I don't want to see you talk to him again this week. If you do, I'll shove your fat ass so far up your ass. Hold on. I'll shove your fat tail so far up your ass.
Yeah, I started snoring the second you said ass, and I was like, oh, I know, you messed that up.
Shove your ass so far up your ass.
Dude, that would be a great insult. Are you kidding me? You shut your fucking mouth, or I'm gonna take your ass. I'm gonna hand up your own ass. You hear me? You don't even know what hit you.
It'll be assception.
There will
Ass
be an
with an
ass
ass.
whooping like you've never had before, asshole.
You won't even have an asshole anymore, it'll just be more ass.
I'm just getting into yourself.
Oh my god. Alright, that's it. And cut.
Thank you, Hannah.
Buy me a drink first.
Ace, get out to the car.
I jump as Leo snaps his head in my direction. I'm torn about this. I don't feel like Flynn did anything wrong in trying to talk to TJ. But if what Leo suspects is true... I think I need to...
Alright, cool.
Leo punches the door frame on his way out, swinging the door shut with a smash. Flynn retains his posture against the back of the couch, his arms folded, coolly chewing on his toothpick. We both listen to the sound of Leo's truck starting up before it fades as they pull out. I look over at the leftover cake on the table, wondering if I should clean up just to give myself something to do. The glob of cream stuck to the side of the plastic dome gives me a jolt of genuine sadness at the mess this whole get-together has turned into. Flynn, meanwhile, retains his slouch sulking. Finally, the pressure's too much, and I feel a need to say something. So... As if that's his cue, Flynn turns on his heel and stalks out the door. Hey! I scramble to follow him out the door, feeling more annoyed than sorry for him at this point. Where are you going? Flynn doesn't say anything as he walks up to the truck and yanks open the driver's side door. He slams it shut just as I walk up to the door. What the fuck? He finally does turn to me, then shifting the toothpick around in his mouth before he speaks.
What?
What do you mean, what? You can't just take off.
Why not?
Flynn arches his prominent brow at me, and I struggle to think of what to say. It's not like he owed me anything. I didn't stick up for him at all back there. Was he expecting me to? As far as he knew, I just needed to get my project done. I just thought you could give me a ride. Flynn smirks at me.
Where?
The mine?
You serious?
I mean, it's a few miles away.
You know it's sealed up and everything, right?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean I can't get a few shots at the outside. Flynn sighs heavily, and that annoys me more than anything else. Whatever, man. I turn around and start heading up the road, not even sure if it's the fastest way to the mine. For the next 10 seconds, I walk briskly up the road, but Flynn's car doesn't start up. I already know he's going to relent before he says it.
Fucking hell. Hey!
I turn around, trying not to smile. What?
Aw.
You know what? Get in.
I try not to look too eager as I make my way over to the passenger's side and hop in.
Are Think you're smart, don't you?
I roll my eyes. I don't think anyway. I don't think anyway. Wow, that's true for me.
I don't think anyway about your asshole and your
Oh,
asshole.
thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts, head empty, all the time, every day. I don't think anything. You're the one shooting yourself in the foot all the time.
Whatever, man.
I stare through the bars of rebar into the darkness of the old mine. There's a damp, cold breeze coming from inside, but all I can smell is dirt.
Yep. Beautiful, ain't it? Might as well just slap that mine jail on our flag. We're sent to town pretty good.
Flynn leans against the truck, chewing on another one of his toothpicks. There's an unsettling feeling about the whole place, and I'm kind of glad Flynn is with me because of it. It's a good 3 miles from the town center, and the gravel road is deserted. Our only company is a few crumbled ruins and the foundation scattered every 20 feet or so. The only sign of modernity is the oddly placed long patch of asphalt and 2 tall lampposts at the end of it. The town had tried to turn the area into a tourist destination a decade ago. The recession put a hard stop to that. That seems to be a running theme in the town's history. Progress halted by outside forces. Don't you have some say in that? I mumble absentmindedly, messing with the settings on the camera.
No. I'm the clerk. I just mess around with the records and shit.
Still hard for me to imagine Flynn working in that position.
Yeah, we should wait before we eat.
Shouldn't you be there now? It's still before 5.
Maybe. Well, why bother?
What? He looks up at me, toothpick bobbing around in his mouth, eyes wide as he shrugs.
What, you think anyone's gonna notice? I get paid to do nothing.
But won't you get fired?
It's an elected position.
Well, unelected then.
Goes unchallenged every year, Chase.
I frown. Doesn't Flynn have any sense of duty? Flynn takes the toothpick out of his mouth and stabs it in my direction.
Hey, I didn't bring you here just to get lectured about how to do my job. I've been doing it for the past 3 years.
Flynn shoves the toothpick back in his mouth.
Anyway, I was kidding. I'm part-time. I get my shit done and leave.
I set the camera on the tripod and look through the lens.
Oh, me?
There's a good amount of satisfaction I get out of teasing Flynn. I mean, your cousin or whatever is the mayor, right?
My aunt is, and so what?
Isn't that nepotism or something? Flynn sighs heavily behind me.
Elected.
Alright, it just seems kinda, I don't know, like it's not a good thing. As I film, I can hear him starting to grumble behind me, so I try to change the subject. Well, it's good to see you're still not smoking anymore. The toothpick's helping?
Not right now, they're not.
Flynn had smoked since he was a freshman in high school. I distinctly remember him offering me cigarettes when I was like 14. He always gets pissed off if I remind him about that. I pick up the camera and move it to a different angle. Well, maybe you could give Leo a few pointers. He doesn't say anything, and I close my eyes when I remember what just happened with the wolf. I film for another minute. I film for another minute, then turn around to face him. I'm sorry about what just happened. Flynn doesn't look at me, instead choosing to stare out at the desert.
Why? You didn't do anything.
Exactly.
But I could have. And this project is why we're here in the first place, isn't it? Flynn sighs and finally looks up at me, his eyes all the more piercing under the bright sunlight.
You know, one thing I can't stand is people apologizing over nothing.
I frown.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it's giving me a dirty look, guys. But that is also an annoyance of mine.
Yeah, you can apologize, but in the end, all it's doing is making you feel better and fixing nothing.
I glare at him, feeling my face get hot, even more than it is in the desert heat. He shrugs and leans against the car, head tilted back and eyes shut against the sun. I stalk over to stand in front of him, and I can see a smile playing at the edge of his muzzle. Man, fuck you! On the last word, I jab a finger into his stomach. His eyes fly open, and he grunts loudly, doubling over.
Jeez, Chase.
I fucking stayed in this shithole for you while everyone else is having fun, and this is the thanks I get?
Oh, so you stayed behind just for me?
Flynn stays curled up, rubbing his stomach. His face is inches from mine, and he's still got that stupid grin on his face. You're an asshole.
I kind of like their
Aw,
relationship.
Chase, my heart.
He clutches at his chest dramatically.
Aw.
More like your stomach. I poke at it again, but he reacts too quickly, his lithe torso bending out of the way.
You can't keep your hands off me, can you?
I just fold my arms, glaring at him. Flynn finally straightens up, looking around.
Well, I'm not gonna do a repeat of yesterday. I've got a house, you know.
Is he talking about how we fooled around yesterday? And that he's inviting me back to his house? Or, more specifically, his bedroom? I swallow. I don't want to look too eager. Like that's the only reason I stayed behind. You know, I'm a little hungry. Do you want to go out and get something first? Flynn snorts as he gazes down at me.
What, from the diner? You know how the fucks me up.
I think. You said you'd cook for me a few days back. Flynn sighs, rubbing a hand behind his head.
What is this, some kind of date?
Well, you said you preferred dinner before. I trail off as Flynn raises a brow at me.
Sex.
I said a drink.
Sex.
We can have that too. Flynn looks off into the desert,
Sex.
thinking. Well, you know, I guess Murdoch's voice actor just starts spouting sex over and over again.
You want the sex, Chase. You want the sex.
I still stand by their relationship when we saw it first is unhealthy and not okay. This is kind of fun, though.
So the thing is, what's interesting about Flynn and Chase, I won't lie, like, I could see the chemistry between them, but knowing what I know about the plot, like, I don't think it could ever work out for them, unfortunately. Unless, like, you wrote, like, a heavily altered AU.
That's fair.
They do have good chemistry, just there's some things that just aren't going to work out between them.
No, that's legit.
Fine. But I'm gonna get you back for that poke.
I smirk. Yeah, As he turns away from me, his tail comes in and knocks against my squeak.
Ooh. Wow.
It wasn't
okay.
all that hard, but it's enough to make me feel it in the bottom of my stomach. Oh, fuck! Come on! I walk bow-legged for a few seconds as I move to gather up my equipment. I don't think that was an equal exchange.
That's 'cause you ain't a lizard. Now hurry your ass up.
Flynn's house is a ranch-style adobe home. He's moved here only a few years ago, so it's my first time seeing it.
It's an alright place. Housemate's quiet and keeps to himself, so it's almost like I have it to myself.
You got a housemate?
Well, yeah, I don't need the whole house. Saves a decent amount of money, too.
You pull in next to a kind of foreign-looking faded yellow scooter.
I like his house.
He's new to Echo. You'll probably like him. He's a big fucking nerd.
I hop out, the pavement warm against my pads even though the sun is setting. Looks nice. Kind of like a smaller version of Carl's house.
Carl's mansion.
On the way up to the door, I feel his thick tail bump against my own, though it's soft enough that I'm not sure if it's on purpose. As we go inside, I'm hit with a blast of warm air that's not much different from what's outside. I air out my shirt. Flynn notices and chuckles.
Sorry, but you better get used to it if you want to hang out with the Gila.
I follow Flynn to the kitchen, the smell a bit strange as well. Kind of like sagebrush, which isn't a bad thing at all. Alright, so this is Daxton, the side character of this route, and this would be Harry's character, but Harry's not here tonight, so who would like to be temporary Daxton? If
Apparently
anyone, let me give you a brief synopsis about who he is. The best way to describe him is he is a Trekkie. Big ol' Star Trek fan.
Nice.
I'm off. It sounds great.
I don't hear anyone else jumping to volunteer, so DJ, do you want it?
I'm doing it.
Alright.
I'm just gonna use my normal voice. I'm a Trekkie. Is he like super like? Is he like awkward nerdy? This character, or is he just like
He's
normal dude but nerdy?
so he is a little socially awkward, but the thing is he's definitely got like normal dude vibes, just more like he's kind of introverted.
Okay. That you, Flynn? Flynn? That you?
Yeah, I have a friend over.
Oh, one of your reunion friends?
Flynn opens the fridge.
Do you have any green peppers left?
I hear a sliding door from the hallway and turn around to see a somewhat startling sight. A tall lizard comes in, but it's not his height that surprises me, but rather his coloring. Spotted blue with pale eyes. That's when I realized that he's a salamander, not a reptile. And this is the person I was forgetting about when I was talking about lizards. I forgot all about Daxton. How... I can't believe it. Ethel, Daxton, I feel like a horrible monster for forgetting both of them.
Dude. I want to be able to do that.
What?
To be a space nerd and, like, look like space.
Ah. Then I realize he's a salamander, not a wait, salamanders are reptiles, right?
I mean, yeah, right?
I guess we can look this up. Or are they amphibians?
Time to
It
find
might
out.
be amphibians use water, right?
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Get a tiny baby man. Okay,
They
play
are
the man
amphibians.
says no.
All right. Huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
dokie.
That's
They
interesting.
remind me of like axolotls, you know, that they look
Axolotl.
at face. Axolotls.
Huh. I had always thought that they were like a lizard or a reptile because like I always remember Charmander having been named after like salamanders.
Salamanders are smooth skin.
What was that?
They're smooth. They're smooth, not really
Ah,
scaled.
Okay.
That's true, yeah.
I suppose I'd seen brightly colored amphibians in Pueblo, but definitely not Echo, and not even in Peyton. There's a smile on his face, and I try hard not to stare.
Dex, this is Chase.
Hello, Chase.
Hi. I reach out to his offered hand before feeling the cool, almost slippery sensation of his skin.
Yeah, sorry. I know you guys aren't used to salamanders around here.
I cringe inwardly as I realize he caught me staring like a dumbass. Oh, no, I don't mind.
Mind being a salamander?
I'm mortified, but he's still smiling.
Alright, Chase. Enough making a fool out of yourself.
Flynn is tossing ingredients onto the counter. Peppers,
Flynn one-on-one
egg,
is so much
cheese,
more
eggs.
fun.
What was that?
So Flynn, when he's in a group dynamic,
It's such
doesn't
an
know how to
asshole.
work with it, right?
Yeah.
He's a dick, right? But when he's one-on-one, just like his ribbing goes from assholery to good-natured, right?
Yeah, like, I will fully admit, like, I've done playful ribbing with friends and everything like that every so often. And that comes from, like, having been around, like, that person a long time to be able to know, like, this is something that I can jokingly say and they know it's a joke. And, like, I see that with Flynn when he's, like, on a one-on-one dynamic with people. But, like, Flynn's blow-up at the river is what really holds me back from, like, really liking Flynn as a character. Because that wasn't just playful ribbing. That was him trying to hurt them.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was him exploding. I'm not saying he's my favorite character now or anything.
Oh, I know you're not. I just been pointing this out for, like, trying to explain why, even after I played through Flynn's route, I understand why people love him and why there's a Dakimakura of him, aka Body Pillow.
Oh my gosh.
But I
I
just...
mean, he's so big and buff, baby.
No, the big and buff one would have been Leo.
I don't know. Flynn looks like he's in better shape than Leo. Yeah, I was gonna say Flynn is like in better. Leo is like dad bod, right?
Yes, but Flynn
Flynn
is
like-
described as being kind of still wiry and kind of thinner in general. He's definitely muscled, but he's like got like toned muscle.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Chase somehow was able to beat him up. Because what Flynn's muscle is more for show rather than for any actual power.
That makes sense. Yeah, but that's actually literally in his description. I'm about the salamander, dude.
Daxton? Yeah, no, Daxton is definitely one of like the best side characters. Honestly, what's hilarious is
He comes from a corner and says, "Say what?"
Yeah, I had no problems with like saying like Kudzu is a great side character because like he's great and everything, and like the other two side characters and the rats around him, Julian or Raven, are both kind of okay characters or barely even there in their plots. But when you get to Flynn and Jenna's routes, their side characters are hoots. I love Daxton, and I also love Micah. I'm looking forward to you guys meeting Micah.
I love how Dax is essentially calling out Chase's subtle racism too.
I've
But, like,
never seen one of
better.
your kind before.
Oh, you're okay with me being a
Salamander?
Yeah, it's fine as long as you're one of ours.
Oh no! Please redact.
Hey, no, I've actually heard stuff like that.
Oh no! Please redact. Ouch. Oh gosh.
Look, it's part of living in small towns.
That's
Small
fair.
town people are racist, but in like a very weird, special type of racist, where they're like, oh, these minorities that are part of our town are our minorities. They're the exception to the rules about racism.
Yep.
And that's always so weird, because you're like...
It's
how-
because, like, the thing people say about small towns where, like, they really care about theirs is true,
Uh-huh.
right? So it's like, they will defend the minority of their town because that's Bob, and we grew up with Bob, and we love Bob.
Members of their community.
But they still have that, like, hardwired, but Bob is different than what I imagine other people of that minority to be.
Oh, yeah. Either way, we got off topic.
Yep.
Flynn's tossing ingredients onto the counter. Peppers, cheese, eggs.
He can't help it. He's not used to it.
Well, he's always bragging about going to college. Sometimes it serves you better if you just get out more.
I'm not sure what to say at this point, but Dax saves me for having to try.
Oh, please.
Daxton sits next to me on a stool. That warm smile still plastered to his face.
Yeah, Flynn here was trying to sweet talk a hyena a few months back.
I see Flynn tense up before he turns around, pointing a knife threateningly at the salamander.
Don't you dare.
There's a reason why I was like, Daxton should be voiced by Harry, because... That's honestly the dynamic between Flynn and Daxton. Is the dynamic between Seb and Harry.
That is beautiful.
Referred to him as a canine. Like, isn't that something basic you learn in school?
Wow, Flynn, really? Flynn turns back around with a huff.
Sometimes you forget shit.
He's trying to play it off, but I can see the frills on the back of his head flaring out.
He didn't care anyway. You fucked, so fuck off.
Daxton rolls his eyes before getting up and airing out his shirt, so like I did earlier.
I'm going back to my side of the house. It's a freaking sauna over here.
He pats me on the shoulder as he passes.
Nice meeting you, Chase.
I watch as he heads back down the hallway, sliding shut the door. Is it colder on that side of the house?
Yeah, dual habitat residents.
I look longingly over at Dax's side of the house.
Chase, in the middle of hitting on Flynn, says, bye, and then runs over to Dax.
No, the thing is, it's not like he's trying to hit on Dax. He just like starts flirting with the AC machine, just going like, oh, beautiful cool air. Honestly, I would probably start flirting with the AC in a house too if it was as hot as a desert.
I mean, I have my school's air conditioning
Oh my god.
wasn't getting turned on for like the past 2 weeks, which was pretty darn hot.
Oh yeah.
Like they finally got it working on like Monday of last week, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, so last
And so like I went from being like, hey, I understand accidents happen and it might take a while, so no big deal, to you do know about the air conditioner, right? To guys, I walked in the building and the fucking heat was on and I've had it to here with this.
I just hope that like one of your coworkers looked at you and you didn't have to come in wearing a full suit and tie.
Like 7 times. Like, it straight up happened.
There were a few days where it's like, all right, I need a shirt that like has like the like sweat wicking material.
But yeah, straight up, that was a direct statement from one of my coworkers.
Excellent.
They're like, Daniel, if it's hot, you know what you can do? You can wear a summer shirt.
Blasphemy! We are here at this school and you
No.
are blaspheming! Oh, did I cut out for my internet? I think I did. Neat. Well, I'll pause the recording. Alright, we're back.
Okay. Get your ass over here so I can teach you about cooking or something.
The next hour was surprisingly fun, even though half of it is spent with Flynn yelling at me about how wrong I'm doing stuff.
Oh my gosh, he's Gordon Ramsay.
He calls it chili rellenos. Wait, actually, how do you pronounce that? Chiles?
Rellenos.
Okay, so I
Chiles
said it sort of
rellenos.
right. Chiles rellenos.
Rellenos.
I'm trying to say a foreign word with my voice pitched down, so that's making it harder. Chiles rellenos.
Right.
Sure.
Rellenos? Oh,
good
it's
enough.
rellenos. Okay, no,
Yeah.
I didn't hear that,
Yeah.
so it's rellenos. Okay.
I only know
Chiles rellenos.
There you go.
Peppers filled with cheese and meat and covered in egg before being fried.
Yep.
I have to agree with Flynn that it's way better than the diner food, even though the food over there is still pretty good. When we finish, Flynn dumps the dishes in the sink with a clatter before snatching me up by the arm. Hey!
No. That was...
Before
That was
snatching
sad.
me up by the arm.
Actually,
That was a very robot. Hey!
I didn't even hear
But,
that. I just heard that. No.
Yeah. Good luck, Alan.
Oh, I disconnected again? Alright. I have internet
The
again.
worst part was hearing you go,
Just
Thing is, I heard like you say some things, and I was like, that's not the line. Because I was hearing Seb first, and I was like, why is he not saying the line?
What?
It was funny and it hurt all at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Shut up, Chase.
I frown, but I allow myself to be dragged down the hallway to what I presume is the lizard's room. It's small and simple, but what I'm most focused on is the fairly large bed. He pulls me in to make room to shut the door before pressing me back against it and kissing me full on the mouth. I said that as unsexily as I could because I was struggling to get through that.
Before kissing me, full on the mouth.
Oh.
I open my mouth the moment his tongue prods at my lips. I'm not used to the feeling of something so thin and flexible sliding into my mouth, but it's not a bad feeling. His long tongue easily entangles my smaller one. At the same time, his hands grab the bottom of my shirt and pulls it over my head, breaking our kiss. I lean back against the wall. Flynn's eyes play over my body, clearly drinking it in. I narrow my eyes. Hey, you've already seen me naked. I reach forward, undoing his belt with quick, jerky movements. Flynn doesn't resist and instead stands there, smirking down at me. I give him a smirk in return as I rest my hands on his hips, before slowly sliding them down, pushing the pants down with them. I think we can start skipping. Let's see.
Oh, boy.
Yep, that can be skipped.
Quick.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo, Flynn has a random, photo on top of his bed.
Yeah, but there's nothing in it. It's a photo of, nothing.
I think it's artwork.
Wow, that's a funny line. Too bad that's not going in the video.
Oh my.
I'm only going this slow so that way Sam can read it because she wanted to read it.
Thank you! I was wondering why we're going so slow.
Sam, thank you, Alexana, about Flynn.
Jesus.
Hannah is apparently reading as well. Because I'm just hearing embarrassed laughter.
Okay.
More
hold up.
embarrassed
I
laughter.
saw.
It just
Was
saw the
that-
first words of what Flynn was saying, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, that one?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yep.
Looking for a come up. This is super awesome.
Like I said, I'm just gonna remove this from the actual recording.
Yeah. Fair.
Although, I love how our visual for this is a bed with messed up sheets.
Well, that's the nice thing about
Very bad.
Echo, in my opinion, was that they never had actual imagery of the sex scenes. It was all just text, so it makes it easier for the editing process, especially compared to what we have to do with the smoke room, where oh, I gotta remove entire pieces of footage and everything, or censor the hell out of everything.
Sure, you've written this down, but I think that scene between Flynn and Leo would be a great scene to do as just a scene.
Oh, okay. I actually hadn't written down anything from Flynn's route yet, nor from Jenna's route, because I didn't want to spoil things for you guys, and I wanted to see what you guys thought were interesting from this. Also, I feel like there's going to be a bigger one between Flynn and Leo that you're probably going to want to do more.
Damn it. Oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, up.
Oh,
There it goes.
Are you there?
No, am I still here?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, it just faded to black for the sex scene, you realize, right?
It just
Ah.
didn't do that for a bit.
Oh. That's funny. Either way, we're past the sex scene now, so.
What?
And we're back. I lay on my side, head on Flynn's chest while his arm is wrapped around me, his hand stroking my shoulder.
This is actually a light scratch now.
I rub his smooth stomach in big, wide circles, making sure to get every inch of it. I occasionally trace the outline of his chest as it rises and falls before... Oh, never mind.
Oh, Alan, speak.
Did that work?
Yep.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
you told me to speak. Am I
Yeah,
still
I
alive?
just wanted to hear you. I just want to hear you read all the lines.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna read that. I was going to only go for what's plot relevant and not like, removal from YouTube relevant.
NSFY.
Yeah, that's honestly is. It's not safe for YouTube.
Or NSFTJ.
That's also true.
Lady.
What's wrong with
I picture DJ just playing with his cats because he's
Lady.
like, yeah, block this out of my brain.
What's hilarious about this is that it's Sam who wants to read the scenes, and TJ who would be the one that would be like, no, I don't want to read the scenes.
Ah, yes.
Whenever you're
What's
ready,
wrong with-
Flynn.
I was.
Whenever you're ready, Flynn.
What's wrong with me
Whenever
wanting
you're
to know
ready,
what
Flynn.
happened? Jesus Christ! What's wrong with me wanting to know what happened?
I pause in my rubbing, resting my paw in the middle of his stomach. He tenses it for a second, so I continue the rubbing. Nothing. I guess that's how you go about doing it. He grunts.
Doesn't matter how I do it. He's gonna be upset.
Might be easier if you try to go at it more delicately. Flynn takes a deep breath, and I watch my hand rise and fall with it.
He's hiding something. You know it too.
I don't say
Oh,
anything. We lay like that for a
Actually.
while. Flynn breathing softly onto my ear as his fingers creep over my arm to tease at
Squeaky.
probably not safe enough for YouTube.
Squeaky.
Everyone does. But they still treat me like I'm some sort of monster wanting to know.
I press down suddenly. He grunts loudly into my ear as he tenses up against my hand again. You don't really think that what you did at the river was appropriate? Ow! I cringe as Flynn pinches my... or my squeak? Yeah, the squeak. That's the word.
It's a squeak.
He doesn't say anything, though, and we lay in silence for a while longer.
Sydney didn't deserve it.
I swallow.
yeah, you do.
No.
I mean, I know he was a dick, but he came from a rough place.
I just listen, not wanting to say something wrong. Flynn never opened up like this.
You guys didn't know him like I did.
I stop rubbing and turn my head up to look at Flynn. His eyes are open, staring up at the ceiling.
Chase, I need to find out what happened.
Flynn,
No, I'm sick of wondering. I'm sick of imagining.
he looks down at me suddenly, and the expression on his face is strange.
I'm gonna talk to him again.
Who, TJ? I hear my voice rise in concern. He doesn't say anything. Flynn. I sit up. Don't do that. He glares at me.
Yeah? Why not? It's probably the last chance I'll get.
But I try to think of something to say. Nothing good will come of it. If he hasn't said anything until now, then he probably never will.
We'll see about that.
The implication in his voice sends a chill down my spine. Flynn! The lizard looks away from me.
What? I'm not gonna do anything. Just talk.
And if he doesn't say anything, Flynn stares at the wall.
I guess that's that. I want him to talk to... I want to talk to him without Leo there coddle him like he's some little kid.
I put my face in my hands and rub slowly. I know Flynn would never want to hurt TJ, but he can get so emotional, and what if TJ says the wrong thing? Just let me go with you when you do. Flynn turns his head to look back at me.
Why?
I just want to be there to keep things grounded. Flynn stares hard at me.
Sydney.
Maybe. He likes you, so maybe that'll be good.
He continues to stare at me, and I feel a little uncomfortable. What?
Just have to promise one thing.
What? Oh, nope. What? I say it a bit more slowly.
Don't get in the way. Don't try to defend him, even if he's acting all sad and shit.
I look back at him, unsure of what I'll say. I don't want TJ to get hurt, and just the thought of this confrontation is making me feel sick. But I don't want to be alone when this happens either. The thought of telling one of the others, Jenna or Leo, comes to mind, but I know that'll be a fucking catastrophe if I do. That'd be the end of a lot of friendships. This still left a chance that they would survive. Either way, I'm going to have to promise him if I want a chance to go along. Whether or not I keep that promise.
Ooh.
Is this where it's... Or wait, or does it...
This is almost certainly good route, bad route right here. And I think we tell the truth.
You have a vote for truth?
I mean, listen, this whole game has been about...
Flynn or...
Here's my thoughts. On all the other routes, we were given a dichotomy. One that felt comfortable, and one that is what that character needs.
Yes.
Lying to him is not going to do anything good for him.
I will point out the one exception to that rule. TJ.
When were we supposed to
have a choice?
There were no choices.
Well, we did
in
not
TJ's
have a
route.
choice for TJ. I understand that. But I'm saying each route, generally the best plan has been to do the uncomfortable and hard thing rather than the easy
I will be
rather
devil's
than
advocate.
the easy seems right in the
even though
moment
I don't
thing.
fully agree.
In fact, the
with what I'm
whole
about to
issue
say.
with all their friendships
Oh, I'm definitely
has
not
been
having
that
it,
they...
am I? Alright.
Alright.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I heard one vote for tell the truth earlier.
Yep, very strongly, because I think that the whole series has been built off of when you're not being possessed, as was the case at the end there in TJ's route. Being truthful with the people around you.
Conversely, I want to see Chase die, so tell the truth.
Okay. So that's 2 votes for tell the truth. That's good enough for me. And I want to just say for people for future posterity and all that, I have been without internet for the past 30 minutes.
It was maddening.
Very, very so. I had to threaten my router with death multiple times.
I
have
don't think you
witnesses.
threatened it. I think you actually killed it.
I mean,
That's
I
good
resurrected it a couple of times as well. Either way, I have a very much hate relationship with my router. No love at all at this point. Just hate.
That's fair.
I promise. But only if it doesn't get Did I disconnect?
No,
I
no,
hear
you're
you.
good. You're good.
I heard a disconnect sound and I was about to punch. I promise, but only if it doesn't get physical. Flynn's eyes narrow. What? He continues to stare at me, like he's trying to see something behind me. What? I'm not lying. Flynn gives a signature snort and closes his eyes again.
It won't.
I look at him skeptically, deciding not to remind him about what happened at the river. I sigh and stare at my Squeak, squeak, squeak for a moment, feeling a little strange. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, maybe take a shower.
Alright.
I get up on 2 unsteady feet and head into the hallway, wondering if I should try. And they added this because I will let you know there were no shirtless Flynn sprites before. They added this specifically for the anniversary edition.
I feel anniversaried.
Nice. What's wrong with you?
And that's it. That's what we waited 30 minutes for.
Wow!
I told you, we were literally within like 5 minutes of it. And we waited for 30 minutes for my internet to stop being a shit.
Wait, so okay, so
Um,
I
No, nothing happened there. It
What's-
took just a few seconds. That's all that had to happen.
We got through like 2 minutes of material for this. For all that wait. I hate my internet so much.
oh man.
Well, apparently the internet also hates you, so...
Uh,
For some reason, I don't know why.
oh yeah, and you guys saw how bad my internet was last week. This is just a continuous thing right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
strange.
Alright, well, let's say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Like,